Hello and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about the recent release of NINJAGO episode 85, Firstbourne. This is the season 9 premiere for season 9 Hunted, and I'm going to be talking about what happens in the episode, and also I'll be reviewing it and how good I think it is. So I guess let's get into it. So if you want to see this episode, Firstbourne, you can just look up NINJAGO episode 85 on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It came out in Australia yesterday, and every Saturday from here on out we're going to get one on YouTube because Australia gets them. I'm not going to be linking anywhere to it or showing any footage of it because I am pretty sure I would get a copyright strike. I'm sure I would get a copyright strike if I showed footage of it, and I'm pretty sure I would get one if I link to it. So I'm not going to do that, but you can just look it up for yourself. It's very, very easy. That's what I did. Of course, they aren't in 1080p. The highest one is in 720p. So it's still HD, it's just not good quality. The visual quality wasn't my main problem with watching these. What really annoyed me about them was the audio. Every single person seemed to have the exact same audio, where the most noticeable thing would be where the S's were like I don't know, they hissed. Like someone would say be silent, it'd be be silent, and it'd be super annoying because it would I don't know, it would attack the mic is what it would sound like. So that was really annoying, but that's not a problem with the actual episode. That's just a problem with people who recorded the episode and put it on YouTube. I don't know how nobody manages, whenever new NINJAGO episodes come out, how does nobody manage to get a 1080p version with perfect audio? Are they all stealing from the same website, and that certain website only uses specific technology or something? It must be something like that, because otherwise I feel like we would have a perfect quality one. But, so, first I'll talk about the events of the episode. Now, this episode isn't too crazy compared to a lot of other season premieres. So it starts off, there's this guy in a green robe walking through the city. Ultraviolet says that she's looking for the commissioner and she's gonna get the commissioner, kidnap him. And then some sons of God are gonna come at this guy in a green robe and kind of push him around, and then they take the green robe off. It turns out it's Dareth under the robe. And they're like, he's a wannabe ninja. We don't have to worry about him. He's no threat. So then they steal a bunch of food off of him, but he still has a little bit of food, so he takes it back to the bunker, because that's what he was doing. That was his mission, to get food for the people in the bunker, and which are him, Dareth, Lloyd, Nia, Pixel, and Masako. And wait, did I say Nia? I think I did say Nia. So he was looking for food for them, and then Lloyd and Nia are training. They're fighting up against each other. Lloyd, apparently he doesn't have his powers because not because they were taken away, but I'm pretty sure when his friends get taken away, it's just it's had such an effect on him, and how he was pretty sure he thought the ninja, they all thought that Kai, J, Cole, and Zane were dead at the start of the episode. So everyone was really pessimistic about everything, and they were just fighting. And then it cuts to Kai, J, Cole, Zane, and Wu in the first realm, and they're trying to send a message to NINJAGO so they can try and get back to NINJAGO. So they hook up something, and then they realize they need to go look for food. So Cole and Wu go out to look for food, and there's a funny scene where the ninja are calling this little kid Wu master and talking about how he should go get the food because he's the most experienced. It was a pretty good scene. And then this is actually my favorite scene of the episode, where Cole and Wu, they have an encounter with a baby dragon and they try to steal some food from it, and the mom dragon comes up and they get chased and have to hide in a cave where they discover some ancient markings of the Oni and the dragon, kind of symbolism and everything. And then back in NINJAGO, Lloyd is still training, and then eventually Lloyd just gives up. He says that he just can't do this without his friends, and he says he doesn't want to lead the resistance, and he says that Nia should lead the resistance. And then back in the first realm, you've got Kai, J, and Zane back at the destroyed bounty, and they received a message from somewhere, but it's not from NINJAGO, it's from people in the first realm, and they say there's going to be an ambush. Then the ninja realize they're about to get ambushed, so they start running, but then they all get captured. That was a pretty good scene as well. Probably my second favorite scene from the episode. They all get captured by the dragon hunters, and Cole and Zane return, and then, or not Cole and Zane, Cole and Wu return, and then the other ninja are gone, and then they follow some tire tracks, which are, of course, the dragon hunters' vehicles, and they start following the tire tracks. And then, in Ninjago, the ninja realize that Garmadon's going to sweep the city, because Garmadon had a plan to sweep the city with his sons of Garmadon, after he talked to Harumi about it. And then they realize they need to go, so they start trying to go, and then they find little pieces of the bounty, and they start looking at old photos and remembering their friends who they think are dead. But then they find flowers for traveler's tea, realizing that the ninja might have actually got away. But then all the dudes surround them, all the sons of Garmadon, and they're about to have to fight their way out of it. But then Karloff comes in and punches them, and then Griffin Turner, Skylar, and Shade come in, a bunch of the elemental masters, and they defeat, they get the sons of Garmadon to run away, and then the ninja escape with them. And then the episode ends with, back in the first realm, Kai, Jay, and Zane being taken into the Dragon Hunter's main room, and Iron Baron saying, "Lost, are we?" So, that's pretty much the entire events of the episode. What do I think of the episode? Even though I did say I did like a lot of the scenes, I feel like the episode was very lackluster. It wasn't really that great of an episode. I think this episode is the first time I found myself actually being bored at some points during an Ninjago episode. Especially, first time being bored seeing an episode for the first time, The scenes that I thought were really, should have been, I don't know, just scrunched down into something smaller. The Lloyd training scenes, there were two of them. Both of them were just Lloyd fighting Nia or Pixel, depending on the scene. And then eventually Lloyd giving up in the end. They were pretty much the exact same scene. They didn't really add anything to it, and they were both at least a minute and a half long. They were way too long. They were relatively boring. Also, the opening scene with Dareth was kind of boring. It lasted for too long, Dareth walking through the city. It should have just been Dareth, right away being attacked by the Sons of Garmadon, and then running, and then making it to the bunker, not going through this entire city and looking on all the TVs. They could have found a way to do that exposition differently. So, all in all, I would probably give this episode a 6.5 out of 10. So, it's an average episode. It's not that great. It's actually probably a little bit below average. I'd say an average episode would be a 7 out of 10. Or maybe 7.5 even. So yeah, I don't think Firstbourne was that great of an episode. I'm hoping that it'll kind of ramp up in action and, the plot. I did really like the Cole and Wu scene. I think that was a great scene. And probably one of my favorites, in the past few years of Ninjago. But it just wasn't enough to take a lot of the lacklusterness away from the rest of the episode. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.